everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my Tuesday at 2 Facebook Live. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd. I am April Davis with April Davis Creations, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. And I live in Spring Hill, Kansas. So welcome. I'm so glad you joined me. If you are live with me, please do say hello so I know that you're with me. And if you're not live with me, say hello anyway and just let me know you're watching the replay. I love it when people are able to join me. So a number of things to talk about today. First of all, the heat. Are you guys experiencing the same heat that we're experiencing right now? It is supposed to get up, the heat index today is supposed to get up to like 105 or 107. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't even know. Let me see if I can tell. Right now, it looks like it's about 92 degrees at 2 o'clock, but it's supposed to get hotter. So, and you know, I don't mind it when I'm inside in the air conditioning. I don't realize it's so hot outside, but tonight we've got theater tickets at Starlight, which is our outdoor theater, and so excited to go, but it's gonna be so hot. I don't know how the actors do it, although I do think on stage they have like air conditioning and fans that are blowing on them, so they're not gonna be nearly as hot as we are, but anyway, that's what I had to look forward to tonight. And normally I would say bring on the clouds, but we've had a lot of rain too. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but Kansas City's been hit a couple of times now, not unlike some of the other places that have received tons of rain and have had flooding. But last week we had some, and then yesterday we had flooding as well. So just crazy, crazy weather, right? Anyway, I spend all my time crafting, so I don't pay too much attention to it except for when I have to go out into it. A couple things I want to update you on before we get started on this fun to go class. First of all, I want to hi Mom, so glad you joined me. That Post-it note worked. Excuse me. I want to say thank you to everybody who comments on my videos, either on Facebook or on YouTube. You know, after I finish recording live, then this video gets uploaded to YouTube, so people that don't see me live have a chance to watch it on YouTube. But if you comment, if you like, if you share, I am so appreciative, and I give away prizes every single week for those of you that have done that. Now, one of the things that I want to share with you is I can see if you like and share on Facebook. I can't see if you like and share on YouTube. I can see your comments, but I can't see who has liked and shared. So if you do share on YouTube, please just in the comments say shared. That way I know, or if you've liked it, or you know, your comment. That way your name will get into the drawing. So last week's winners claimed their prizes. So I'm going to move on to this week's winners, which was actually for last week. But my winners that are going to receive, they're going to receive, let me see if I can show this to you, the pressed flower motifs embellishments. And then they're also going to receive a bolt of the basic beige ribbon. So the winners for those are Becky Adkins 332. Becky, if you see your name, be sure to reach out to me at aprildaviscreations@gmail.com. Send me an email, say I'm a winner, and I will get your package in the mail to you. I just need contact information. The second winner is Kim Lloyd. Kim, same to you. You're going to win the same package. Please do just reach out to me at aprildaviscreations@gmail.com, and I will get your prizes in the mail to you. And thank you so, so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. All of that just helps me to build my channel, so I appreciate you all so much. All right, what else do I want to share with you? Did you guys hear? I'm going to change, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to change my screen. Change my screen so you guys can see. But did you hear that Stampin' Up is bringing in free shipping again? So, so exciting. For 3 days, the 23rd through the 25th, when you place a qualifying order, which is $75 or more, you get free shipping on your order. So we don't do this very often. When we do it, and I take advantage of it as well, I love to save on shipping. And if you place an order during the free shipping time, I am going to gift you with a package of designer series paper, 48 sheets, 6x6 designer series paper. So when you place an order, to get your free shipping, I will gift you with a package. Now, there is a little bit of a caveat because this is also a to-go class, a free to-go class, but you can get your kit for the to-go class for free. So if you opt to get the kit for free, then the paper is not part of the package. But if you don't want the kit, but you still place an order, you'll get the paper. Does that make sense? It's just, there's no double dipping. Each incentive is on its own. So you're either gonna get the paper for your order or you're gonna get your kit for your order. But even if you get your kit for your order, you get a free kit and you get free shipping. So there you go on that. So this starts tomorrow, $75 or more, lasts through Friday. All right, next, I wanted to just share with you that enrollment is open right now for the August Paper Pumpkin. It closes on August the 10th. And Stampin' Up! Always gives us like a little bit of a sneak as to what it might be. And this one, Farmhouse Florals. And I'm looking at this little teapot. This little teapot looks very similar to a country stamp set that we had previously, but then I was doing a little bit more investigating and I found this Farmhouse Florals picture. This time we've got a typewriter with some florals. So now I'm a little stumped, if you will. I don't know what exactly it's going to be, but farmhouse. Also, I wanted to share with you that we also have a set of dies that go with the paper pumpkin. So it goes for 3 months. These will go for all 3 months. So July, which we just had, and we have strawberries for July, August, and then September. So we also have that as well. If you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you want to get the dies that go along with those 3 kits, you can do that as well. In addition to the Paper Pumpkin, you know, I shared with you that enrollment is through August the 10th for the August kit, the Farmhouse Florals. Every month, I partner with 3 other demonstrators and we create alternatives for our Paper Pumpkin. So we are in the midst of working on the July alternatives. And so what I thought I would do is I would just share with you a little bit of a sneak peek of the alternatives that we've got. And these are just mine because the other ones, I don't have theirs, but they send me pictures and then we put the tutorial together. So I'm gonna show you that in just a second. But for the tutorial, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber through me, you will receive this tutorial for free. 12 additional alternative cards made with your Paper Pumpkin subscription box. That is free if you subscribe through me. If you don't subscribe through me, you can always go out to my PDF store. It is at, let me do a little bit of switch around here. It is at, if you go to aprildaviscreations.com, I do have a PDF store, so you can find the alternatives in the PDF store and you can purchase those. But let me just share with you these cute cards. I had so much fun. And remember, we're talking strawberries. So this is one of the alternatives that I created. Here's another fun alternative. And again, I'm using things that are in the Paper Pumpkin box. Hi, Jan, good to see you. Thanks for saying hello. And then the third card is this one. How fun are these? And I'm just using all the various pieces. I might add a little bit of this and a little bit of that from my stash. But we've got 12 alternatives coming your way. All right, what else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the August Crafting Happiness Club. Enrollment is open. Enrollment opened on the 20th of July. It goes through it opened on the 21st of July. It goes through the 20th of August. But I wanted to share with you that we are utilizing the Cheers and Sips stamp set bundle on this. And these cards are so, so cute. I'm just going to give you a sneak peek of them. But a fun Cheers card. In fact, I think I used Cheers on all of them. This card is let me see if I can get this open for you. This is for a gift card. So you've got a place to put your gift card. This is a fun fold. Opens up this way, then opens up this way. And then you've got this one that is a a fun fold, if you will, as well, and some embossing in it. But what you'll do in this club is you'll get enough of the supplies to create 2 of each of these cards. Plus, you're going to get a half a pack of the celebratory Sips designer series paper to create your cards. You're going to get a pack of the rhinestone basic jewels, and if you watched last week, I showed you how you can actually color on your jewels to make them whatever color you want for your project. And then I don't have it in front of me right now, but you're going to get a full bolt of the Petunia Pop ribbon for your cards as well. So enrollment is open now. If you go to aprildaviscreations.com, you will find all of that information out there. So are you ready to see the cards for today? So excited. We are going to use the Party Piggy stamp set. And I'm kind of partial to pigs because my daughter and son-in-law, they raise show pigs. So they actually breed and then they sell the little piglets off so that the 4-H kids can raise their pigs. My daughter and my granddaughter, and I was going to show you guys pictures. Maybe I'll think to stick them on Facebook so you can see them. But my granddaughter is actually showing pigs. This is Fair Week, and so she's got 2 pigs. She's 8 years old, and she's got 2 pigs that she's showing, and it's so cute to watch her walk them around the yard. But anyway, I just thought this would be a fun set. So the cards that we're making, here's card number 1, Let's Party. Then we've got card number 2, What's Shakin' Bacon? I just love that. That's so cute. And then we've got Happy Birthday to You. And how sweet is that? It's a little piggy, and it just looks so fun. So fun. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna create this one first. And let me show you, my nose is itching, I'm so sorry. Let me show you what's in the kit for this one. So we've got basic white cardstock. I'm using Strawberry Slush as my layer. I've got another piece of basic white that we're going to stamp on. And then I'm also going to have to stamp for one of the pigs because we're going to pop the pig up. And then I'm using my Stylish Shape dies, and we're going to stamp on this for our sentiment. So let's go ahead and get our stamping done. There's a lot of stamping on this card. I'm going to bring my little Stampin' Pierce mat in because all of these stamps are photopolymer. I've got my Strawberry Slush ink that we're going to use. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp Let's Party on my little label. I'm going to make sure I got the right side up. I do. So pardon me if I get my head in the way, but let's go ahead and stamp Let's Party. Okay, we've got Let's Party. We'll set this off to the side. I'm going to clean that stamp off. And now we're going to stamp one of the little piggies. So let me close this up. The rest of the ink, I will need, well, we've got this out. Let's go ahead and we'll do this first. Well, no, I want to stamp my pigs first. The reason I want to stamp my pigs first is I've got some confetti that I want to put around the pigs, and I won't know where the confetti needs to go if I don't stamp my pigs first. So we'll go ahead and get that done. So I'm going to bring this piece of cardstock in first. And let me see, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper so that, because I'm going to be stamping off. So I'll just slide this underneath. I've got my Memento ink here. Oop. And let's go ahead, I'm going to turn this over so I can see how I'm getting this inked up. So let's go ahead and get this piggy inked up. And then of course we're going to have to do some coloring, but I'm going to put this little piggy in this corner right here. Make sure I get a good connection. Okay, that looks good. Let's do it again. We're going to get a second little piggy over on the other side. And they're just kind of peeking in. Okay, let me turn it this way and we'll get this piggy. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. So it's going to go right about in the middle, I think. So we're going to put it right here. Okay, and now this little piece of cardstock, I'm going to stamp a third piggy, and this one we're going to have to die cut out and then we can pop it up. So we've got this, and it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put it right in the center. Okay, so we've got those. We'll color those in just a minute. Let me clean off my stamp real quick, and then we will do the confetti and get that out of the way. So that's out of the way. Bring in my confetti. We're gonna do the strawberry slush for that as well. So let's go ahead and open this up. All right, bring this piece back in. And I put a lot of confetti on my last card, so I'm gonna try to see if I can spread this out just a little bit. But you can see now why I needed to have my little piggies on here first, because I don't necessarily want to have confetti going through their faces. So I'm just going to try to fill in these areas. I don't really need to put any back here because I've got a little pig going in back here. So, but I might, I'm gonna put a little bit right here. Well, that was a lot, right? Okay, we'll just do it this way. So here, and I'm gonna turn it. I'm trying to make it so that my confetti doesn't look like I've got a plan of action here. I want it to be haphazard. I'm gonna put some here, some here. Yep, lots of confetti. There's no way around it. And I'll put some here. Okay, that looks good. Lots of confetti. We're having a party, right? It's party time. All right, let's clean this off. And I'm gonna bring out my blends, and we're gonna do some coloring. All right, get this all cleaned off. And you might see the strawberry slush has stained my stamp. It still works just fine. It's not a problem. So if your stamps do stain, especially the red inks for some reason cause them to stain a bit, it really is not a problem. It does not affect how your stamp. All right, so I'm gonna bring in, for my first piggy, I'm gonna bring in Petal Pink. And I'm gonna use the light Petal Pink to color in the majority of my pig. And then I will use the dark to add some highlights. And pretty simple coloring, but indeed it does take a little bit of time to get the coloring. And I didn't want to do the coloring ahead of time because I wanted you to be able to see the stamping as well. So I will go as fast as I can, but this is an opportunity for us to chat. So what I've been working on recently is Stampin' Up! Had their virtual scrapbooking event. So fun. What I learned very quickly is that I'm not a fast scrapbooker. So the good news is that they recorded all of it on Facebook, and you could pause and you could stop and rewind if you needed to rewind. And so I actually did a lot of that. And so as a result, the virtual retreat itself is over. However, I still have 6 months to do. So I've got January through through June. I've got January through June done. And I'm just loving it so much. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to go ahead. I don't have any pictures in them right now. But what I'm going to do is I want it to be my Stampin' Up! Album for next year. So I'm going to go ahead and create the album now. And then what I'll do is I will, starting in January of next year, I will start taking pictures every single month and be able to kind of document my Stampin' Up! Year that I have. Different fairs that I've done, classes that I have, events that I've attended. So I'm really excited about that. All right, I'm getting ready to switch to the Pretty in Pink. I'm gonna do this little piglet in Pretty in Pink. So let's go ahead and get this done. But my Stampin' Up, my scrapbooking for right now is kind of my, how do I wanna say this? It's more of my extracurricular activity. Yes, I craft every day, most of the day, because this is my business, but I do have, different things that I'm working on. For example, clubs, to-go classes. So different things that I have to get done during, what am I trying to say? You know, I have kits to cut after my to-go classes, and so I get all of my work, my fun work done, because it is fun. I get all that work done first, and then I can sit down and play with my scrapbooking. And I've been doing pretty good. Like I said, I've got 6 months done, and these are 6 2-page spreads, so excited about that. Jan, did you do anything with the scrapbooks, or do you do scrapbooking? Just curious as to how. I've seen one, Sandra showed me her page that she did, and so cute. And it was fun because she had actually won one of the door prize drawings, or not, it wasn't a door prize, I'm gonna call it Prize Patrol. Anyway, she had won, and I was on her scrapbook page, so that was exciting. I enjoyed that. All right, now I'm gonna switch to crumb cake, and I'm gonna do this little piggy in crumb cake. So let's go ahead and get this done. And I'm going to use this light crumb cake color, and it is, the light is really light, and the dark is, oh, actually I'm going to do the pig, and I'm doing it opposite what I did before. I'm going to use the, nope, didn't do that. Are you a scrapbooker or just mostly a card maker? The last piggy that I did in the dark crumb cake and used the light. This time I'm using the light, and I'll highlight in the dark. So get him all colored in. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my dark. And the dark, it's interesting. The dark is dark. See how dark that is in comparison? Okay, so I'm going to just do a little bit of accenting here. Do I want to do more? Maybe right around his ear. This side, I'm going to do some blending here just to kind of give it a little bit of an accent. All right, I can see that little face inside the card also. You can see that little face inside the card also. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Mom. That little face inside the card also. Is there a little face inside the card? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we've got the coloring done. I'll move these out of the way. And we are going to go ahead and get this mounted. And actually what I need to do, it looks like it's exactly the same size. So I need to grab my trimmer real quick, which is right here. I probably should have checked that before I did this, but no worries, we're just gonna trim it down. I'm gonna trim down like a little bit of it, like a little bit on this side, and I'll turn it around. We're gonna do it all the way, evenly, all the way around, so that we don't take off too terribly much. So we'll do that. Next week, just as a heads up, we're doing the sunflowers, and I do this a lot with the sunflowers. But I'm not going to spoil it for you right now, but that's another fun class. Okay, see, that worked out perfect. Let's go ahead and put this down. The piggy, the little face inside. Oh, so I'm not doing the inside of the card this time, but yes, I could see that little piggy face on the inside of the card as well. So when you open up the card, sometimes I do the inside, sometimes I don't do the insides. A lot of times when I'm sharing cards with people, I don't do the inside so that they can pick and choose their sentiments. And a lot of times, if I don't do the inside, I leave the basic white piece loose. And I do that on purpose because if they're stamping and for whatever reason they have an issue, they make a mistake, whatever that might be, then they haven't ruined the whole card. But yes, Mom, to your point, I could see that little piggy on the inside as well. So let's go ahead. We're going to die cut this little piggy out. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab my dies and get his little head. And you can see I've got my mint tape. I've been doing a lot of die cutting lately. And so I've got my mint tape. I reuse it over and over again until it just doesn't work anymore. So to save it, I just put it on the top of my cut and emboss. So we'll go ahead and run this through. So we've got this done. I'll move Get it out of the way. These out of the way. All right, and here we've got this one. So this one's going to go on dimensionals, popped up. Let me put this away so I don't lose it. It's going to go on dimensionals, popped up. All right, so let me get some dimensionals here. I've been using a lot of dimensionals for my scrapbooking. All right, my tweezers. So let's go ahead and grab some of these. Put one on each of the ears and one for the middle. I was happy to see that I'm not the only one who likes dimensionals and uses more of them probably than I should, but I do like the stability and I don't like sag. So let's see, how do I want to place this? Maybe like this, maybe. All right, so now we've got him, and now we can take and we can put some dimensionals behind our Let's Party. So let's go ahead and do that. See how easy this card's coming together and so fun. All right, let's party here. Okay, and now I'm gonna bring back in my card base in the basic white. Let's go ahead and get that. And we're gonna open it up this way. I just wanna make sure it's going the right way. Okay, we'll get this down, and we are almost done with card number 1. So let's go ahead and get this lined up. You know, the other thing that I realized, and I don't know why, but when I'm doing scrapbooking, I like using seal. When I'm doing cards, I like using the glue. It's interesting. Maybe because I have so much more to glue on the scrapbook pages, but I've become really good friends with my seal. So here we go. Card number 1. How fun was that? All right, let's bring in card number 2 so we can look at card number 2. And let's do what's shakin' bacon. So on that card, we've got our basic white cardstock again. My designer series paper actually is from the Timeless Plaid DSP. Lots and lots of options, but I picked this one because I thought that it would go well with the color that I picked for the pig. And then I've got to bring these in. I used the Everyday Arches to create this arch, but I want to show you. Can you see the design in that? Let me see if I can get it in a place where you can see it. Can you see that? Ah, Gian, I hadn't scrapbooked in ages either. I started out as a scrapbooker, but I'm having a lot of fun getting back into it again. All right, there's another piece I want to show you. So I showed you the design that was in this. We have, I don't need to take it out, but we have a new die that, see the texture in this die? So what I did is I cut this out with my Everyday Arches, these dies, cut it out with my Everyday Arches, and then I placed it on my die here, and it punched in all those little holes. So it kind of gave me this really cool effect. So anyway, that's what you're seeing here. So we've got this piece, and then hopefully I didn't lose the rest of my, seeing I've been moving things around and now I don't know where my envelope is. Here it is. Okay, we are going to stamp out the pig, and we also are going to stamp out the sentiment. And you know what I didn't do? Before we get started on all of that, I'm going to bring my first card out, getting ahead of myself because I'm so excited. But I used the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems, and I just thought it was so fun to add a little bit of bling. So I'm going to use the dark gems, and I'm going to put one up here, and I'm going to put one down. Whoops, did I grab it? I used my Take Your Pick to grab my gems, so I'm going to put one down here. And then I've got another one that I'm going to place probably right about here. Okay, now this card is done, and I feel good about it, so now I can move on to my What's Shakin' Bacon card. Sorry about that, guys. having a squirrel moment. All right, so for my pig, for my wet shaken bacon. So let's go ahead and let's get our pig stamped first. So I'm going to bring my mat in again, and I've got to stamp both the body and the head of the pig. So let's go ahead and get that. Okay, so I'll put my body down here. And then we'll stamp our head, and then I'll get these cleaned off. And then we're going to do our wet shaken bacon. Wow, we're stamping. So let me see. I'm gonna place it right about here. Because again, we're gonna color and we're gonna die cut. So a lot of coloring today. All right, so let's go ahead and get these cleaned off. Okay, put this on. Well, actually I'm gonna need it, right? So let's go ahead and bring this back again. And this time, what's shaken bacon? So cute. Let's get this inked up. Got a good ink on it. We're gonna place it here. Whoops, is that good? Double checking. It's a good thing I can see through. All right, so we're gonna do it just like this. All right, now we need to do some die cutting. I think I'm gonna do my die cutting all at the same time. So I'm gonna set this off to the side. We will die cut it when we die cut the pigs. All right, so we've got that. All right, let's bring out our blends. And this time I'm gonna do this little piggy in Calypso Coral. I just thought that that would be a cute color to use. It goes along with the plaid that I selected. So let's go ahead and get our pig colored in. And actually it's a good piggy color. I don't know, once upon a time I thought all pigs were pink, and I found out very quickly that they're not. My daughter and her husband, they raise all kinds of pigs. They have different names. They're Durocs, and I don't know all the names of the pigs, but anyway, they are all different colors. They have brown pigs, they have pink pigs with black spots, they have black pigs with white spots. There are all different kinds of pigs that I was totally unaware of. But they're really, really cute as little piglets. And usually those pigs are born in probably, I'm guessing, the January time frame. They start breeding their sows in the fall, the late fall, and then the piglets come in January, and then they keep the little piglets until about the April time frame, and that's when those little piglets then go up for auction. And they have a number of families that get their pigs through Dean Farms, and every year they get a new piglet and raise it and prepare it to show. And they walk them around the rings, and I've been to a few pig shows, but I'll probably go to more now that Briar will be showing. But they walk them around the ring, and I don't know, the judges are looking at all kinds of stuff when they do, when they're showing the pigs. And then what happens is they win prizes, grand champion, and this and that. And then they sell their pigs, and they sell their pigs, and the pigs then become bacon, which I know it's how it works. I know that, but it's like you spend all your time, you just don't get attached to the pigs, I guess. Although, I don't know, I think of pigs and I think of Charlotte and how, personable. Well, Charlotte was a spider, but Wilbur, and so I don't know. But I guess I'm going to learn more and more about it, because that's what that family does. She's also showing a rabbit. She's got, what kind of rabbit is it? It's a lop-eared something or other, and she is the cutest thing. Her name is Whiskers, And Briar has to learn all kinds of things about this rabbit because she has to be able to show it. And I don't know. I mean, if she's going to show a rabbit every year, is she going to keep the rabbit? I don't know. This is all new because Briar is just now old enough to be able to do all of this. But she will be showing her rabbit. And then yesterday, she entered lemon bars into the fair. So, you know, they do cooking as well. So Briar was able to enter her lemon bars, and this was her very first time. Like I said, she's only 8 years old, and she got a red ribbon for her lemon bars, which isn't bad. I mean, it's not a blue by any means, but she's only 8 years old. But her daddy was saying about how they tasted way better than a red ribbon, you know, so he was a little bit partial and felt like it should have been a little bit. She should have gotten something more for it because they were really good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just putting a little bit of accents in here just to kind of add some highlight. And I'm going to bring my marker in again, and I'm just going to kind of blend it out towards the center. And that's how I'm going to get a little bit of shading in here. I love how the alcohol markers allow me to do that. It makes me look like I know what I'm doing with my shading, and I really don't. I love to color, but I'm not an artist by any stretch of the word. But I am crafty and creative. So I think we're just going to go with the one side. I don't want you guys to have to sit and watch me fuss with this for a long time. I did forget to color his nose. So let's go ahead and get his nose. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and die cut him out. So we'll get him die cut, and then I'll show you what we're doing with the sentiment. Okay, so moving these out of the way, we're going to bring the dies back in. So we've got his head and we've got his body. And I'm going to bring my cut and emboss back in and my little mint tape. So let's get these lined up. I'm going to attempt to do these both at the same time. So let's see. Let's go this way. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How's this go? Is that his? Did I pull the wrong thing out? Nope. This is it. His little tail was throwing me off. So there we go. We're getting it lined up. Okay. So we'll get this lined up. I don't want to cut off his tail. And then, oh no. Do you see the problem we've got here? I didn't leave enough space, and I'm definitely not going to cut into his head. So what we have to do is we have to bring in our snips, and I'm going to bring this around, and the head and the body are going to connect. So if I don't get all of his body, because there's a little bit of a space there, I'm not worried about it because I know that the two are going to connect. So we're not going to see that. But just take note, if you're doing this, make sure you leave plenty enough room between the head and the body. All right, so let's go ahead and do this body first, and then we'll come back and grab the head. Okay, so we've got that. You can see where I didn't have enough there. All right, so, but that's okay. Here's his body, and we'll move this off to the side, and let's go ahead and get his head lined up. Whoops, use my same tape. Get his head lined up here. There we go. Goes this way. I always cut into the same plate. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. I try to keep my top plate clean or cut free, if you will. Sometimes, oops, happens, but for the most part, that way when the bottom plate eventually gets to a place where I can't use it anymore, I switch my top plate to my bottom plate, and then I just pull out a new plate. So I'm only pulling out one new plate at a time. Okay, now we've got the head. So let's do that. I'm going to put this off to the side. We'll get back to that in just a second. The last thing we need to do is we need to do, we need to do the sentiment. So let me get these put away so I don't lose them. And let me see, I dropped my ink, my chamois. I don't need that right now, so we're good. Sentiment. We're doing the sentiment in the Stylish Shape dies. All right, so let's look at this. We are actually utilizing this die. However, hold on just a second. Let me find my, where did I stamp it? It was right here. Oh gosh, guys, this happens to me all the time. Here it is. What's shakin' bacon? It doesn't fit. Look, the die is too short, but the die fits top to bottom, so I want to use this die. So what I'm gonna do, I showed this to you guys last week as well, I'm going to make this die work. So I fit it to the left side first. Bring my plates back in. I'm gonna fit it to the left side first. I'm not gonna cut this end, not yet. So I'm gonna put it in so that that end is sticking out because I don't want it to cut. As long as it's over where the plate is, it's not going to cut, okay? So we're gonna start here, and I'm just gonna cut this part of it. Pull this out. Take this off. And you can see now I've cut part of it, right? But I haven't cut all of it. So now I need to cut the rest of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my die back down. I'm gonna snap it into where those cut lines are. There, snapped in. I'm gonna bring it down so that I can capture the rest of the sentiment. I had it in there and now I need to reset it. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, what's shakin' bacon? And it's right there at the end. I'm gonna put my tape back on. This time I'm not gonna cut this side. So pull this out. Go ahead and get this down. And this is the side that's not gonna get cut because it's already been cut. I just wanna cut that side. So we'll put this in again, crank it through. Move this out of the way. Move these out of the way. And now when I take this off, there's my sentiment. What's shakin' bacon, and it's the perfect size, even though my die wasn't the perfect size. So you can make your die bigger, your die cut bigger, you can make your die cut smaller, just based on how you line it up in the cut and emboss. All right, so let's put this away so we don't lose this piece. And now we can start building this card. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna bring in my base and go ahead and fold that over and burnish it. Okay, now we've got this. We're gonna take our designer series paper, make sure I've got it cut right. I do not have it cut right. I don't know what it was when I was preparing these kits this last time, but all right, so I want it to be 5 by, let me see, 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm gonna take this to 5 1/4. So that is 5 1/4. So why is that short? I don't know why it's short, but let's go ahead and we'll just bring it in some. So this is 4 by, wonder if this is, now I'm just curious. Oh, look, it's because my card, you can't see, but my card's not the right length. That's okay, we're gonna, no explanations, no explanations. I'm just gonna wing it and we're gonna still have a great card. All right, so I've trimmed that down. Probably I cut it off for something else and just thought that it was the standard size, and it's not the standard size, but it's all good. So I could use this back side if I wanted to, but I really like the plaid. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll get this down. So I was preparing the kit sort of right. My cuts were right. It's just that my card base was not right. So we've got that. Now let's go ahead and we're going to put this down. Okay. Just gonna let me get some color on this. Or color. Oh my goodness, let's glue on this. Okay, let me see. Probably right about there. I'm gonna scooch it over so that we've got it fairly centered. And I can tell, I just need to make sure I've got plenty enough. It's because of the die cut on it, it's not connecting, how do I want to say, there's a lot of little holes, and so I just want to make sure that I get it connected completely. That's why whenever you emboss or even die cutting like this, you want to use a little bit of extra glue just to make sure that it all adheres properly. All right, now while that is, let me see, I'm going to put some blocks down on it to help it. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my Piggy together. And you can see the head goes over that area just fine. So let's go ahead and let me see, is my silicone mat here? I like to glue on my silicone mat. That way if glue comes off, it goes on my silicone mat and not my glass mat. But I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue here, and then we're gonna go ahead and adhere the head to the Piggy. So we're gonna let that set for just a second. Make it one piece, as you can see, and then we'll turn this over, and I'm going to start to put dimensionals down on this. So let me see my dimensionals. So we'll go ahead and get one here, and here, down here. You know, I've been going through a lot of dimensionals, so I'm going to, I use every ounce of my dimensionals. So when I run out, then I start cutting them up, and I'll use them up this way. So we've got there, I'm gonna put one at the head, and I'm gonna put one here in the middle. And I think that's probably plenty. So we've got that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bring this piece back in. And it looks like, I'm not quite sure what, I don't know, it might be glue right here. So I'm gonna use my, yeah, it's glue. I just, you guys probably couldn't see it, but I could see it. It just looked a little gray and it was actually glue. So let's go ahead and get the backs of these off. And then we can get our pig placed. I had so much fun playing with these little guys. I'm not necessarily into cutesy cards, but you know, I start to play with them and then it's like, ugh. And part of it might be because I have grandkids too, but I have so much fun with them. All right, so there we go. Our pig's down. We just need to put down the sentiment, and we're gonna put the sentiment over here. And basically, because my pig is popped up, I'm gonna put glue here, but this is not popped up. So I am gonna put one dimensional right here on the end so that it can be popped up. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then I'll take a little bit of glue, not a lot, just a little bit. Glue here, and then I can take this and get this placed. I want a spot to show just a little bit. And then I want it to be fairly straight. So it's shakin' bacon. So cute. Okay, and then I decided to use the Druzy adhesive back embellishments just because I was using the plaid, and I just thought that these would go really well with the plaid. So I'm gonna take one of these and place it here. Pick this one up. Bring it down here. I usually do 3. I don't typically tend to go more than 3. Every once in a while though, I don't want to say never, because that's not true. Sometimes I do more. Pick that up, and then I try to do it like in triangles. Let me get this down and I'll show you what I mean. So 1, 2, it doesn't have to be a triangle that's exactly even, but I do try to do them in triangles. So let me move this off to the side and move my scraps off, and there you go. There is card number 2. How fun was that? All right, card number 3. This one, I mean, they're all my favorite, but this one's really my favorite. And I think probably because I'm utilizing let me show this to you. I'm utilizing the Floral Impressions paper for this. Just bright floral colors. I don't know, it goes good with a pig. So we did that. Let me bring the kit out so I can show you what else we used. So we've got our basic white cardstock. Then we've got our designer series paper. And then I've got this banner. Now this banner was actually cut from the party banner dies. If you guys don't have these are gonna come in handy in so many ways. You can make banners, and you can see this is the biggest one, but look at how many there are. You can make them any size you want to. I actually made this banner out of the one, so it's like the 5th largest or something like that. So I've got my banner, and then we gotta do some more coloring. Here's 2 pieces for me to stamp my Piggy on, and that's it. That's all we're gonna do. So we're gonna stamp first. So let me go ahead and get my Piggy stamped, and then we're gonna do some color blending as well. So let's find my mat. And let's go ahead and get my Piggy because we're gonna have to do some coloring. But I think I want to do my coloring before I stamp. Not my coloring on my pigs, but my blending. So we've got this head. And I'm gonna have plenty of room to cut it out because they each got its own sheet. And then I'll clean that off in just a second. Let me bring his body in. Get that stamped out. Okay. All right. I'm gonna come back to the black in just a second. I've got to step down for just a second because I dropped my Simply Chamois when I was getting some other things around. So let's pull that off, and we'll clean this stamp off, and we'll clean this stamp off, and then we're gonna put these off to the side, and I'm gonna bring in a blending brush. I have it here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna bring in a blending brush, and what I want to do on my flag is I want to do just a little bit of ink blending just to add a little bit of color before I stamp Happy Birthday to You. It's going to tie the tag and the designer series paper together. So I'm just going to do a little bit of tapping off. I want it to be light. I want it to be light, and then I can make it darker. And I'm doing a very, very light touch. If you do a dark touch, you potentially are going to make a dark smudge. And so I want to blend this out. You can see the color starting to appear on this. And I don't need to do the whole thing. I just want to do enough. If I wanted it darker, I could come back in here and I could pick up some of this ink and go back in and maybe do it a little bit darker if I wanted to. Not necessarily necessary. That was good, not necessarily necessary, but we did that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to move this out of the way. I need to clean this off, so I'm just gonna pick up my chamois and I'm gonna wipe it off. I love my glass mat. All right, so we've got that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this back in and I'm gonna grab the Happy Birthday to You. Let me bring my Stampin' Pierce back in again. And we're gonna do that. So we'll get this set up, and then we need to start doing some coloring for our all right, let me get this lined up. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but sometimes your stamps might be a little bit too big for your block. They don't fit on it crosswise. Oh, that's good. So what I did is I put my stamp on diagonally, and I can still see through it, so I can see if it's lined up. Sometimes I lined it up straight, especially if I have to use a grid to make sure I'm going straight, but this worked out really well, and I was able to get it to fit on my block without having to go to a larger block. Okay, we've got that done. Now let's go ahead and let's do some coloring. And this little pig is going to be colored in the crumb cake, like we did that last one. Well, not the last one, but on the three pigs card. So I'm going to start with the light crumb cake. And this light crumb cake, I mean, to me, it looks almost yellow. It's not as tan as I would think it would be. I did double check to make sure that it wasn't effective. I pulled out a new crumb cake, mostly because the other one, the ink was running low on it, but it was the same. This light crumb cake just tends to have, from my perspective, a bit of a yellow hue to it. Okay, so we've got his head. Let's go get his body. So while I'm coloring this weekend, in fact, it starts tomorrow actually, I am going on a girls' trip. My mom and I are going to Arkansas to see her sister, my aunt. She is my aunt because she's my mom's sister, but I don't call her aunt because she's only a year older than I am. And it's just weird to call her Aunt Diane. So when I refer to her as to who she is, she's my aunt. But when I talk to her, she's just Diane. But anyway, we are avid crafters. All three of us are. And so we are, I'm picking up Mom tomorrow. And then Thursday morning, we are headed to Arkansas to spend the weekend with Diane, and we will do lots and lots of crafting. We usually have some sort of a project for each other to work on, and then we have our little projects that we've been collecting. So I know Mom is going to be spending a lot of time catching up on her paper pumpkins. She's a little behind on those. So she's going to be doing that. And I'm pretty well caught up with my to-goes and designing and everything. So for me, I am going to be taking my scrapbooking, the virtual scrapbooking that we did, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to work on that. And I know Diane also signed up for the virtual scrapbooking, so she's probably going to be working on that as well. But we just have a lot of fun chit-chatting and laughing and talking, and it's a bit of a drive. It's 2 hours. I got to get that leg. I missed that leg. It's 2 hours from where I live to my mom's. So I'll go down tomorrow afternoon, spend the night, and then it's about a 5-hour drive from my mom's to where my aunt lives in Arkansas. So we have a bit of driving ahead of us, but again, it's just fun. Mom and I spent a lot of time chit-chatting, and I look forward to this. We were supposed to do it in April. We normally do it in April and October. We go down there in April, and then Diane comes up here to my house in October. But Arkansas was having a lot of flooding. I don't know if you guys all remember that, but they were having some terrible flooding. And so as a result, we had to postpone, and we're going in July, which we'll still have tons of fun. It's just going to be super hot. I checked. I thought, well, maybe it won't be as hot as it is here in Kansas City, but nope, it's going to be hot. So I'm adding just a little bit of shadowing. I'm not getting carried away with the shadowing. We're going to put some pink cheeks on here in just a second, but I do want to add just a little bit of shadowing for this little piggy. And let's see, maybe here and here. I'd probably do a little bit more if I weren't recording, but I don't want to take all that time from you guys as I try to blend this out, because I add it and then I blend it and then I add it and then I blend it, and I think this will do us. Take this and go this way, just add a little bit of extra color that way, and I can darken this up just a little bit. I tend to go to the center, and it kind of rounds it out a little bit because he's got a little round belly, right? All right, let's try this again one more time. Okay, so now one more thing. I'm going to pull in, I think I'm going to go with the light Pretty in Pink. And let's go ahead and give him some little cheeks. So I'm going to color this cheek in. And I'm going to color this cheek in. Didn't make them as round as I did the last time. I'm not good at drawing circles. There we go. Anyway, good enough. Good enough. All right, let's go ahead and bring our dies back in again. One more time. Gotta move some of this stuff out of the way so I can get to my space is shrinking on me. All right, let's pull out these two pieces. And let's see, here's my tape, my mint tape. So let's go ahead and get these down. And I remember that's the tail. So, all right. So we got that piece down, and we'll go ahead and get his head. Hi, Wanda. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. We're getting ready to cut out our little piggies for our third card. Okay, bringing this back in. Here's my plates. And I think I can do, since they're on separate sheets of paper, I think I can run these through at the same time. Let's see if I can squeeze them in. There we go. All right. Plug this in. And this is going through. All right. Move this out of the way. Put my tapes over here. These out. So we've got that one, and there we go. We've got those. And let me put the dies away real quick just so they don't get misplaced. All right, now we can start building. So we're going to bring back in our card base, and I'm going to go ahead and burnish it. Then we'll go ahead and we will add our designer series paper. So pretty. I just love how bright and colorful it is. So I'll get this down. Get that centered up. I have to do a little bit of scooching on that one. Go this way, this way, this way, this way. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our banner down flat. So let's go ahead and get it down. And I'm going to angle it off to the side. So we've got it here. Okay, and now we're going to build our piggy. This piggy, though, is going to be upside down, I guess. Upside down. He doesn't really look like he's upside down. It looks like we've just got his head first and his body's behind him. But in order to build it right, you've got to put him upside down. So let me go ahead and get him down. So we've got that. And then I'm going to take his head and we're going to put dimensionals on his head. I think I'm going to, oh, look, I found some. There we go. So we'll get some dimensionals on him. This way. And in the center. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get these backings off. 3, 4, and 5. Get those put away. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn his head upside up. His body's upside down, but his head's upside up. So it looks like he's kind of, I don't know, poking his head forward. So we've got him there. All right, now, almost done. We're going to bring out our bling again, the strawberry slush and pretty in pink. This time I'm going to use the pretty in pink. Last time I used the strawberry. We're going to use the pretty in pink, and we're going to put a couple of bling down. And let's see, let's put this one right here. And there we go. There is card number 3. How pretty are these? I just love these little cards. All right, so card number 3. Let me move this stuff out of the way. I'm going to actually take me down just for just a second. Let's see. Can I do this? There we go. So I can show you all these cards. And then this was what Shakin Bacon card. That was card number 2. And then our Let's Party card. And I did shake up my Let's Party card a little bit. Instead of doing the brown pig, I went ahead and did the crumb cake light for my pig. But so fun. And I'm doing this in honor of my granddaughter, who's actually showing her pigs this week at fair. So now I'm going to come back up and see you guys. And thank you for being with me today. I love doing my lives. I love creating with you guys. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the cards as well. Remember that starting tomorrow for 3 days, free shipping on all your purchases. Minimum order of $75, but free shipping, which we all love it when we get free shipping. The other thing I wanted to talk about is just to remind Kim Lloyd and Becky Adkins 332, you guys are winners. And I've got prizes for both of you. So I need you to reach out to me at, let me take this down and put this up. Reach out to me at aprildaviscreations@gmail.com, and I will get your prizes in the mail to you. I'm not very good with the camera, am I? I'll get your prizes in the mail to you. Paper Pumpkin is still open, so if you haven't subscribed for Paper Pumpkin and you're interested, August is open until the 10th. And also, if you're interested in the Crafting Happiness Club, want more information on it, go out to my website at aprildaviscreations.com. So, thank you so much. Think cool thoughts for me tonight as I go to the outdoor theater, in which it's going to be 107 degrees heat index. I'm not quite sure how we're going to stay cool, but we're going to figure it out. But I will see you guys next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.